Dave Broom, to say a few words. Dave is a whisky writer and has an in-depth knowledge of whisky and all around the world. And I'm honoured to ask him to open our distillery for us. So, Dave.
Thank you, Alistair. Yeah. Build it and they will come. Yeah. It's phenomenal. It's a great honour, a huge honour to be asked to do this, and it's an amazing time. I've never walked behind a pipe band before. It's quite something. Thank you. I just wanted to have just a few words in general about whisky and about what this place kind of inspires in me. And I was kind of looking through some old accounts of whisky and whisky distilling. And there's a man called Martin, who at the beginning of the 18th century did a tour of the islands of the Western Isles and wrote down his account of how people lived in those days. It's one of the very few accurate accounts of how people lived in those days. And within that are, thankfully, some references to whisky. And the first reference to whisky is really about how it was drunk in those days. So the account goes something like this. The manner of their drinking was called a straight or a round, for the company would sit in a circle, and the cup would be filled with drink and passed around, and everyone would drink from it, and everyone would become drunk. And the drinking would go on 24, sometimes 48 hours. Now are you ready for the ceilidh? Okay. And there would be people stationed at the door with barrows to carry people off as they became drunk. How hospitable. Yeah, Hebridean welcome. And on one hand, when you look at that piece, you think, well, that's just a great big hoolie, in the Highlands. But it's not. It's more about that. Because the more you study that piece, the more you realise that this is the moment when whisky changes. And it changes its function from being something that was just a drink or taken as a medicine into something that is part of us. And the fact that people are passing a cup around, the fact that people are sitting in a circle, is democratic. And it's about sharing. And it's the way in which whisky actually begins to bind a community together. It's not just a drink, it's now part of our culture. It's a really, really important point. And I think, and it's interesting to see how people still drink. We still drink in rounds. We still drink sitting round or standing in circles. We still all drink together, and it's community. And that was kind of the little theme that I wanted just to pick up over the next hour or so when I'm speaking. But the more I kind of learnt about Raasay, and then the more I learnt about this distillery, this idea of community just kept reappearing. And, this, I don't need to tell the people who live here, but, this island is really an encapsulation of the Hebridean experience in all its glories and indeed in all its trials. But throughout its history, Raasay has also been a place of dreams, and it's been a place of resilience that in the face of constant setbacks, whether that's clearances or absentee landlords or peers or shooting rights or whatever, it is where people continue to believe in the place where they lived, and the dreams came true. People just didn't make do here, they made better. And this is evidence of this. This is a further evidence of a renaissance in Raasay. It encapsulates the Raasay spirit, I think, this distillery. We're seeing a renaissance in Scotch whisky. I mean, there's new distilleries, and also something interesting which is happening, which is smaller independent distilleries starting up, which are independent not just in finance, but independent in thought. And as you begin to, I'm a whisky geek, and as you go through this distillery, you realise the way in which it's been set up. There's so many different techniques which are going to be used here, which is going to take whisky in a new direction. That's why this place is so hugely exciting. I won't bore you with all the technical details, but I'm really, really excited about that. But also, this is about a kind of re-establishing of our Hebridean sensibility, reclaiming place. And you can't, I think, I'm a student of Scottish literature, and I felt I couldn't talk about Raasay without something from Sorley MacLean. So this is an extract from his poem, The Cave of Gold. I apologise, not in Gaelic. It's quite short, okay, but it's good, of course. Why did he leave the land of MacLeod when the honey and spices were on his lips and bees in his ears, and the love-making, the praise and the music, the sweet promises and the rewards, and the soft, eloquent words of the drink. And those words for me are a kind of perfect demonstration of how whisky doesn't just have a commercial imperative, but it's got a cultural resonance as well. It reflects place and it reflects people. And that's what's happening here, because a distillery isn't just a plant that's making alcohol, it's making spirit. And it's not just spirit, it becomes the spirit of the place, it becomes a focal point. And the ripples that are created by a distillery and a new distillery starting up spread out across the whole community. It gives the community an identity, it gives tangibility, but also it brings people in. People will come into Raasay because this distillery is here. It will help the entire community. This is about the island itself. So congratulations to Alistair, to Bill, to Ollie for the fantastic build, to Chris and the Ians and everybody in the team. They've done an absolutely phenomenal job in getting this place up and running. And so, just to kind of paraphrase Sorley MacLean, may the whisky from here be honeyed and tinged with smoke and sweet fruits and spices. May it be praised and be a softly eloquent ambassador for this magical island. Thank you. What do you want? We can't decide whether to have a drink or open the distillery.
Go on, have a drink. We'll have a drink.
I thought you got bloody big bees up here.
No drinking this way.
Down in one, eh? He forgot it was from Glasgow, eh? Slanjava!
And another toast to Raasay. Now, where the quake makes its way round, and I've got more, and I've got another bottle, so please make sure it goes round. While we do that, I'm going to ask Dave to cut the ribbon and open the distillery.
You got that, Cameron? No, I don't. No, it's fine.
Open!